Coming up next on your local news on Fox 9, the F-35 program is gaining altitude after months of problems plaguing the whole fleet.
And the Imperial County Sheriff's Office has a new way to communicate. We'll tell you about it.
911, what's your emergency? Ever wonder about that voice behind the phone call? Well, I'm Mauricio Marin, and I'll give you the day of the life of a 911 dispatcher coming up next.
Those stories and Nicole Gomez with your windy and warm weather forecast. Your local news on Fox 9 starts now.
From Yuma and San Luis to El Centro and the Imperial Valley, this is KECY Fox 9 News.
Let no one be so cruel as to try to use the heinous acts of these two young men last week to derail the dreams and futures of millions of hard-working people.
It's happened. Lawmakers have taken to politicizing the Boston bombings, using that event to argue about immigration today. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. I'm Anna Chalk, and this is your local news on Fox 9. That story is coming right up. But first, congratulations are in order tonight. Jared Norris is Yuma County's Teacher of the Year. He teaches special needs at G.W. Carver Elementary School. Now, for Norris and the rest of the teachers and administrators at the 26th Annual Yuma County Teacher of the Year Banquet, it was a night of glitz and glamour. Hundreds came out to the event at the Yuma Civic Center, putting the spotlight on some of Yuma's greatest teachers. Educators were nominated among 6 categories, but only one. Again, Jared Norris has been named Teacher of the Year for 2013. Superintendent Tom Tyree says he's proud of all of his teachers.
You know what, I'm extremely proud of our teachers and our community as a whole. This is one of those times where a lot of different people come together to make this a great evening. In fact, this is really one of the premier events in the entire state. We are really the envy of a lot of other people because of what we do. The word has gotten out about what a great event this is.
And I'm a product of the Yuma school system, so it's great to see some of the teachers that I remember, Mr. Tyree being one of them, honored tonight. Now, just so you know, the awards night is put on by the Rotary Clubs of Yuma as well as the Yuma County Education Foundation. Facebook and Twitter have become popular means for law enforcement to use to alert the public. But is there a safer option for people in the Imperial Valley? Your local news reporter Patrick Hayes has some more on this story.
Anna, starting today, the Imperial County Sheriff's Office will use a new way to communicate. The service is called Nixle, and it allows them to create and send messages instantly. These alerts can be sent to your cell phone as a text message or to your emails. Aside from alerts, messages will include community events and event information. Now, Nixle is just as easy to use as Facebook and Twitter, but it acts a lot more securely. Reporting for your local news, I'm Patrick Hayes.
And we now know the name of the third woman killed in that multiple fatalities accident we told you about just yesterday. 32-year-old Latrice Turlotte was the front seat passenger in that 2-car accident yesterday on Avenue D at County 9th Street, where a Toyota Camry was T-boned by a Dodge Ram pickup truck. Now, the Yuma County Sheriff's Office says she was trapped inside the car and pronounced dead at the scene. 2 other women, as you recall, were also riding in that car. They, too, were killed in that crash. YCSO tells your local news that the accident is still under investigation and that they're still looking for witnesses. So if you know anything, please give them a call. Outside right now, we're going to turn to the weather with a look from our Fox 9 tower cam. Excuse me. You can see it's quite calm right now. Light winds, a little bit of humidity, not too much, and we're sitting right around 80 degrees. Here's Nicole Gomez with a quick check of your local forecast.
Thanks, Anna, and hello, everyone watching. Well, we had a trough move through our area today, and it brought us those gusty winds, and we even saw some areas of blowing dust on the lower Colorado River. We even saw a few clouds across the valley as well. As far as our wind speeds, 22 miles per hour out of the northeast today, and our gusts got as high as 29 miles per hour. And overall, we're tracking another cold front that could bring us some showers, and I'll let you know what we can expect for the week ahead. That's coming up in your full forecast. Anna?
Spring showers would be nice. Thanks, Nicole. And they're the first line of communication in an emergency. Now, this month, 911 dispatchers are being appreciated for their hard work. So your local news reporter, Mauricio Marin, decided to tag along with one rural Metro 911 dispatcher to see what it's like to deal with that intense pressure.
Rescue 2, Engine 10. At this time, copy priority 1 traffic.
Susan de los Reyes has been a 911 dispatcher for 9 years. She says no 2 days are alike.
We get a lot of difficulty breathing, heart problems. We get quite a few of our car accidents also.
De Los Reyes is one of about 20 911 dispatchers at Rural Metro, working 12 hours at a time.
So these guys have to be thinking ahead at all times. But at the same time, even though that one call is going on, they're also processing many more of the calls.
And she says she treats each one very seriously.
You have to take control of the call because it's not my emergency, it's their emergency, and we're here to help them.
When seconds matter during an emergency, De Los Reyes kicks into full gear.
Our CPR calls, had one not too long ago, and it was a good call in a way that we were able to get them to the hospital.
Now, day in and day out, they work to deal with your emergencies. This month, though, they're being celebrated for their hard work. This week, the 911 Coordinator's Office hosted a celebration lunch for all Yuma County 911 dispatchers, thanking them for their service. As for De Los Reyes, she always has one goal in mind.
Just being able to help people, knowing that that my crews come home safely, that they're going into a safe situation and they're coming out safely and able to go home to their families also.
For your local news in HD, I'm Mauricio Marin.
And some people on the other end of that line might be able to help out a local family tonight. In fact, the San Luis Police Department is looking for your help finding a missing teen. They say this kid right here, you see, 16-year-old Kevin Esparza has been missing since Saturday night when he left his home on Los Olivos Street in San Luis, Arizona. Now, he had his parents' permission to leave, but San Luis PD says he's about 5'6" and 140 pounds. Their number that is on your screen right there, kind of in the middle of your screen. If you know anything, please give them a call. You are urged to call them, in fact, right away. And also missing from San Luis, 27-year-old Jesus Enrique Juarez Aguayo. The San Luis Police Department says he was reported missing nearly a week ago, but hasn't been seen since last Monday. He was last spotted driving his white Chevy pickup with Arizona license plate ARX 0920. If you think you know his whereabouts, again, you're asked to call San Luis PD. The number again right there on your screen. And here's a look at what's coming straight ahead on your local news on Fox 9. F-35 fleet is back in full flight and making some great strides here in the Valley. I'll tell you all about it. This is your local news on Fox 9. Stay with us. What? What package? Oh. The ricin, it should be, if you want to grab Fox, it should be John Roberts, if you can grab it. I'll go. Yeah, from Fox. I forgot to print you the video list. Okay, if you can grab it, I'll print it for you real quick. Incoming. Anna Hayes' package. Anna, it's. What? Thanks so much for coming back with us. Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano telling the Senate a pathway to citizenship for illegal immigrants will make America safer and more prosperous. Testifying before the Judiciary Committee, Napolitano also discussed the case of a Saudi student in Boston who was questioned about the Boston Marathon bombings. A witness at the site of the explosions said he had been acting suspiciously, but Napolitano says investigators determined he was not involved in the attack.
He was never a subject. He was never even really a person of interest. Because he was being interviewed, he was at that point put on a watch list, and then when it was quickly determined he had nothing to do with the bombing, the watch listing status was removed.
Now, several Republicans want the Senate to reconsider a bipartisan plan for immigration reform in light of the Boston bombings. They say Congress should first find out if the suspects took advantage of the weaknesses in the current immigration system. Now, it looks like Nike is pulling T-shirts with words Boston Massacre, from its outlet stores. Your local news anchor, Anna Hayes, has more on this story. Now, Anna, if these shirts have nothing to do with the Boston bombings, why are they being pulled from store shelves?
Anna, it's an ill-timed reference to a rivalry that's been going on for almost a century. Take a look at this shirt. It seems offensive now, but here's the history. This particular design refers back to September of 1978. The Yankees swept a 4-game series over the Red Sox at Fenway Park, with the Yankees winning the 4 games by a wide margin. Eventually, New York went on to win the World Series, and the sweep of the Sox was dubbed the Boston Massacre, a reference to the original Boston Massacre in 1770. But with the bombings last week, these shirts are now being seen as inappropriate and insensitive, especially since they have blood spattered over the word Boston. Nike said in a statement, "In light of the tragedy in Boston, we took immediate action to remove this product from distribution." Earlier today, I spoke with Mike over at the Sports Authority store in the Yuma Palms Mall. He says while they do carry Nike products there, they've never had this shirt on their shelves because they tend to carry products representing teams a little closer to us, like the Diamondbacks and the Padres. Anna Chalk, back to you.
Thanks so much, Anna Hayes. Turns out Arizona is about to get a hefty chunk of change. Coming up on your local news on Fox 9, I'll tell you how an unhealthy habit is ultimately paying for some of our state's medical care costs.
It may be spring, but more wicked weather is causing problems across the middle of the country. I'm Garrett Tenney in Chicago. I'll have that story coming up.
Just do this segment as it is. You have everything? Okay, just do this segment and let's get caught up. Take a breath. Stop showing my bra.
You're watching Your Local News on KECY Fox 9 with Anna Chalk and Nicole Gomez with weather.
Thanks Thanks so much for coming back with us. It may be spring, but more wicked weather is causing problems across the middle part of the United States. And while some states are dealing with flooding, others are being hit with snow. Fox's Garrett Tenney has the latest now.
From the looks of these roads in Colorado, spring hasn't sprung at all. Up to 6 inches of snow piling up all along roads in the Denver metro area, leaving drivers to deal with ice and slush. The Colorado Department of Transportation is now closing a section of Interstate 70 in the eastern part of the state heading to Kansas.
That's insane. I'm getting tired of shuffling my driveway.
There are similar scenarios across the Midwest as snow and rain continue to pummel several states. In Clarksville, Missouri, showers overnight have already slowed or stopped the receding river levels which had crested above flood stage. And while shipping has resumed along a 15-mile stretch of the Mississippi River near St. Louis, investigators are still trying to determine what caused more than 100 barges to break loose, 11 of them sinking. Across the Chicago area, more rain is expected to fall on many saturated suburbs like Des Plaines, where high water destroyed dozens of homes. Many homeowners are expressing anger at city officials who they say haven't done more to help.
All we have seen are news helicopters. Nobody from the city called. City actually told me we're busy with other things. Don't you know someone who can come and get you?
About 4 dozen counties in Illinois have now been declared as state disaster areas. Illinois Governor Pat Quinn touring some of those damaged areas Monday. He's now asking for federal assistance as crews continue filling sandbags to keep the Illinois River from causing even more damage. Forecasters are calling for another inch of rain from Oklahoma to Michigan, and so far the flooding has been blamed for at least 3 deaths. In Chicago, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
And here in the West, it is hot, but we're lucky we're not dealing with that snow and rain that you just heard about from Garrett Tenney. Right now, our temperature outside around 80 degrees. Winds are very light, and we're also in the middle of very low humidity, so quite comfortable. In fact, a gorgeous night, as you can see from that picture from our Fox 9 tower cam. And we're going to go now to Nicole Gomez with your complete local weather forecast. Nicole?
Another warm day today. We did hit 93 degrees, and as you can see, temperatures well above normal. We should only be sitting at about 88. Now this afternoon, our winds did pick up around 22 miles per hour, and our gusts near 30 miles per hour. And that was because of a trough that moved through that's continuing to track east towards New Mexico. As far as our temperatures today, again, it was a hot day today in the 90s, but cooler than what we had yesterday. And it was 90 degrees for Blythe today. So we are tracking that next system. Now, as far as tomorrow, we're going to remain in the 90s. We're still dealing with those occasional breezes during the afternoons, and we could see some clouds, but for the most part, we're going to continue to see these warm temperatures for tomorrow. But that system will bring us just a slight chance for those showers. Now, it'll begin making its way into the California coastline, but it'll begin to weaken. So we're just looking at a slight chance for those showers. As of now, on our future track, you can see that it's just a slight chance, mainly for areas to our north. So again, for your Wednesday and Thursday, there's a slight chance for those showers. Wednesday, temperatures will remain warm, but Thursday is when you're really going to see the difference in those temperatures. As far as tonight, it's still going to be warm, or I should say mild, for Blythe, Quartzsite, and Wellston, with temperatures in the 60s. Tomorrow, again, just a few clouds, and temperatures will be cooler than what we had yesterday, but still pretty warm, the 90s for Blythe and Welton. As far as tonight, expect clear skies for the most part. In Mexicali, we'll see temperatures in the 60s, 67 for San Luis. Mexicali tomorrow, look for a high of 90, 93 for San Luis. And just a few clouds across the area, but overall not too bad. 57 degrees tonight for Salton City, 59 Imperial Valley and Brawley. And tomorrow, look for temperatures in the upper 80s and plenty of sunshine. Tonight in Yuma, temperatures will be sitting at 67 degrees, and the winds will start to die down overnight. And as far as tomorrow, they'll start to increase, but they won't be too bad. Out of the southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. We'll just have to deal with those occasional breezes during the afternoon hours, and 90 will be the expected high. 59 degrees tonight in El Centro, north winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour, so they will be light, and temperatures tonight will drop down to 59 degrees. Look for a high tomorrow of 89. So again, we're just looking at a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms for Wednesday and Thursday. The notice Thursday temperatures will drop down to 86 degrees. We'll warm back up just in time for the weekend with temperatures in the 90s. Overall, the winds will gust during the afternoon hours, but they won't be too bad. Anna?
Looks good for a change. Thanks so much, Nicole. Lots more coming up on your local news on Fox 9. Stick with us.
Johar Tsarnaev has been upgraded from serious to
Let's
fair
can we do
condition.
ricin package? We'll do ricin and then the rest of the block.
Dr. Stephen Odom, an acute care specialist, asked him, how are you
Yeah,
feeling?
please.
Are you able to answer
And
some
stand by, I'm going to need you to
questions?
update
The
prompter
defendant
because the
nods
F-35 story is not in.
Surprising move in the investigation into ricin-laced letters. All charges against 45-year-old Paul Kevin Curtis now dropped. Surprising move in the investigation. Surprising move in the investigation into ricin-laced.
This heinous crime.
Investigators returned to another person's home where they previously.
Johar Tsarnaev has been upgraded from serious to fair condition, and we are getting more insight from his hospital bedside court appearance. Dr. Stephen Odom, an acute care specialist, asked him, how are you feeling? Are you able to answer some questions? Johar, the defendant, nods affirmatively. Later, Magistrate Marianne Bowler asked him, can you afford a lawyer? No, he answered, the only time he spoke. Bowler concluded by saying, I find that the defendant is alert, mentally competent, and lucid.
Welcome back. A major change in the ricin letter investigation. Charges dismissed against the Mississippi man who was accused of sending a poisoned letter to the president. Fox's John Roberts has the latest.
Surprising move in the investigation into ricin-laced letters. All charges against 45-year-old Paul Kevin Curtis now dropped.
When you've been charged with something, you've never heard of ricin or whatever. I thought they said rice, so I said I don't even eat rice.
Curtis was released earlier today, about a week after his arrest. He was accused of sending the poisoned letters to President Obama, Senator Roger Wicker, and a Mississippi state judge. But no ricin or devices to make it were found in searches of his home and vehicle.
I respect President Obama. I love my country and would never do anything to pose a threat to him or any other U.S. official.
The government was able to basically find another suspect who we believe is the true perpetrator of this heinous crime.
Investigators returned to another person's home where they previously searched. The man maintains his innocence.
The paranoid anti-government schizophrenic is the one that wraps up me, who is in his fantasy world, who is a patriotic American.
Meanwhile, a military official saying a report of a suspicious letter at the Bolling Air Force Base turned out to be a false alarm. Mail screening equipment alerted officials to the possible presence of a toxin, but no suspicious letters or packages were found at the facility. The Defense Intelligence Agency says the FBI took samples and will conduct further tests. In Atlanta, John Roberts, Fox News.
A Lockheed Martin spokesman announced earlier today that the company will resume delivering F-35Bs to MCAS sometime within the next month. The fighter jet that is scheduled to be delivered has passed its final inspections and is ready for takeoff. The company had to delay the original delivery date because of two precautionary flight suspensions, one in January, the other in February. You probably remember we told you about those when they happened. Marine Corps Air Station Yuma houses the world's first F-35 squadron, and as of today, MCAS Yuma has 4 F-35s, but will receive 1 a month until the year's end. MCAS Yuma expects to house 16 F-35 fighter jets and operate with nearly 300 Marines. Arizona's Attorney General Tom Horne announced today that the state is getting an additional $48 million for the Arizona Healthcare Cost Containment System. You probably know that program by its more common name, Access. Now, the money is coming to the state as a result of a settlement in a tobacco enforcement case. This is in addition to the $100 million per year Arizona normally receives under the tobacco settlement. The final installment of $12 million was expected to be received today. And New York City may become the first major U.S. city to snuff out cigarette sales to people under 21 years old. The city's health commissioner and the city council speaker announced a proposal this week to raise the age to legally buy cigarettes. Now, that age would go from 18 to 21. Now, this still requires approval by the city council and the signature of Mayor Michael Bloomberg, who does support this. Officials say raising the age limit could cut smoking among 18 to 20-year-olds by more than half. There's lots more when we come back, so make sure you stay with us.
So if it goes any higher, you're not going to be wearing any skirt at all.
Hey.
Yes. So if it goes any higher, you're not going to be wearing any skirt at all.
Hey.
Yes. So if it goes any higher, you're not going to be wearing any skirt at all.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, Delbert, can we do Abenomics, World War II? Then let's put the full page of the Teacher of the Year again. And then we'll do the Tower Cam. Now I have it on my paper. Thanks. Affirmative, thanks. Tower Cam for goodbye if you got it. Something pretty.
So if it goes any higher, you're not going to be wearing any skirt at all.
Hey.
Yes.
This is definitely one way to bring attention to a political cause. Check this out. In Japan, people are calling the country's new economic plan Abenomics, and that's named after the current Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Now, those girls you saw at the beginning have a song about the new ambitious economic program, and they have said for every day the Nikkei average climbs, so will their skirts. And that's pretty scandalous in the very conservative country. But supporters of Abe's economy are grateful that these youngsters are bringing the politics of money to a younger generation. 2 British soldiers finally laid to rest almost 100 years after they were killed in action. Check this out. The men died in France during World War I on May 15, 1917. 4 years ago, a French farmer found the remains of the men. Among the remains, a ring and identity bracelet with their names on it. So the descendants of the soldiers attending the burials at a cemetery in France, and that cemetery specifically for military men. Now, the remains of the 2 unidentified soldiers were also interred. About 1 million soldiers from Britain and its Commonwealth died in World War I. Historians say the remains of about half of those men were never identified. And I'd like to turn once again to our top story tonight. Congratulations again to the Teacher of the Year. You're looking at a picture of Jared Norris. He is Yuma County's Teacher of the Year. He teaches special needs at G.W. Carver Elementary School. And these pictures were taken actually by Jared Dort. He's at Arizona Western College, but he sent these to me tonight. The event was at the Civic Center. Lots of teachers and administrators out there to celebrate Mr. Norris and many other of Yuma's fantastic educators. So congratulations to Mr. Norris and, of course, all the other teachers who are nominated tonight for such a prestigious award. And one last look tonight at our Fox 9 Tower Cam. I'm going to leave you with this picture. Have a fantastic night. We'll see you back here again tomorrow.